theater, I want to draw your attention to the donation envelope in your playbill.
What are you talking about? Why are you asking for money? These, lovely audience members, they already paid, what, $30 a ticket? That's what you paid, right? Except you. You probably paid the online student rate, didn't you, Penny? Be nice, be nice. But I'm glad you asked the question, because nationwide research tells us that any theater across the country, in order to produce live theater, the ticket sales only cover half the expenses. So we rely on donations from people like you. So come on, you tightwad, donate to live theater.
Benny, stop. What Benny is trying to say is that there are many ways that you can support RTC. The donation envelope is one, but you also probably saw the concessions and the raffle table out here. Both of those go to support the company, not only for this show, but for our summer musical and for our goal of having our own performance space. I know, this summer is Sound of Music. That's right, Benny. Benny's right. This summer, RTC is going to produce Rodgers and Hammerstein's classic musical, The Sound of Music, auditioning May 4th and 5th for ages 6 to 106. 106? Oh yeah, can't wait to see that 106-year-old. Go a deer, a feed. That's a few of my favorite things. Right. So let's get on to King Lear. In your playbill, right there in the middle, there is a brief synopsis of the plot.
Brief? Yes.
And there is also a map of all the relationships of the characters.
I don't think that guy can read. You better read it to it.
No, they can read it themselves. But why don't we give them the short version just so they know what's going on?
Forsooth!
Right. So the play begins with King Lear dividing his kingdom up between his 3 daughters. So he can go into an early retirement.
Sounds like a bad idea already.
Well, when his youngest daughter hurts his feelings, Lear cuts her out of the will, banishes her from the kingdom, and sends her off to marry the King of France.
Ah, Cordelia!
When the good guy, Earl of Kent, says to the king what a terrible mistake he's making, the king banishes him from the country as well.
Oh, that's too bad. I like that guy. I hope he comes back.
Well, he does. He comes back disguised as Caius to help the king along on his journey. Meanwhile, Goneril and Regan, the evil sisters, they don't like the way the king is behaving with his rowdy knights. Party! And so they throw him out of the castle on a dark and stormy night.
Oh, this is my favorite part. This is where he starts to go crazy. And you forgot the subplot.
Right. Meanwhile, the Earl of Gloucester is having some trouble with his 2 sons. Edgar, the legitimate son, and Edmund, the illegitimate son.
Bastard!
Watch your language. Edmund writes a letter that he says is from Edgar, planning to kill his father. Poor Edgar has to run off into the countryside.
Oh, this is another of my favorite parts. This is where Edgar pretends to go mad as poor Tom. Poor Tom's a cold. Isn't he naked?
Yes, well. Cordelia is eventually reunited with the king. But before that, the Earl of Gloucester decides to go help the king. Goneril and Regan don't like that very much, so they decide to have him punished.
There's the gore.
When Cordelia is reunited with her father, it's a lovely meeting, but they are soon punished, they are soon captured, put into jail by Edmund, who's now the Earl of Gloucester.
Oh, and Goneril and Regan are horny for Edmund.
Stop it, watch your language.
And then there's sword fights, and
let's not give away the ending.
Right, what do you do in this play? You don't seem very important.
Well, as the king's all-licensed fool, I'm the only one that's allowed to tell the truth to the king without punishment. I also try to keep him from going mad.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, we'll try to do it together. So, now, turn off your cell phones, unwrap those hard candies and cough drops as we proudly present King Lear!
I thought the king had more affected the Duke of Albany than Cornwall.
It did always seem so to us, but now with the kingdom divided, it appears not which of the dukes he values most.
Is Not this your son, my lord.
This breeding, sir, hath been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge him that I embrace to it.
I cannot conceive you.
Oh, but this young fellow's mother could. Whereupon she grew round wombed, and indeed, sir, had a son for her cradle, ere she had a husband for her bed. Do you smell a fault?
I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper.
But I do, sir, have a son by order of law, some year elder than this, but in my account no dearer. This young knave came something saucily in the world before he was sent for. Yet was his mother fair, and there was good sport in his making. Edmund, do you know this noble gentleman?
No, my lord.
My lord of Kent. Remember him hereafter as my honorable friend.
My services to your lordship.
The king is coming.
Attend the lords of France and Burgundy, Gloucester.
I shall, my lord.
Give me the map there. Know that we have divided in three our kingdom, and 'tis our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger strengths, while we, unburthened, crawl toward death. Our son of Cornwall, and you are no less loving son of Albany. We have this hour a constant will to publish our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. The two great princes, France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love us most, that we our largest bounty may extend? Goneril, our eldest born, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than words could wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty. Beyond what can be valued, rich or rare. No less than life, with grace, health, beauty, honor. As much as child I loved or father found, a love that makes breath poor and speech unable. Beyond all manner of so much, I love you.
What shall Cordelia speak? Love and be silent.
Of all these battles, even from this line to this, with shadowy forests and champagnes rich, with plenteous rivers and wide-skirted meads, we make thee, lady. To thine and Albany's issue be this perpetual. What says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife to Cornwall? Speak.
Sir, I am made of the self-same metal as my sister, only she comes too short. That I profess myself an enemy to all other joys, which the most precious square of sense possesses, and find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness' love.
Then poor Cordelia, and yet not so, since I'm sure my love's more ponderous than my tongue.
To thee and thine, hereditary ever, remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that conferred on Goneril. Now, our joy, although the last, but not least, to whose young love the vines of France and milk of Burgundy strive to be interest. What can you say to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond, no more nor less.
How? Cordelia, mend your speech a little, lest it may mar your fortunes.
Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as are right fit. Obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands, if they say they love you all? Haply when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plight, shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure I shall never marry like my sisters to love my father all.
So young and so untender.
So young, my lord, and true.
Let it be so. Thy truth then be thy dower. For by the sacred radiance of the sun, here I disclaim all my paternal care, propinquity and property of blood, and as a stranger to my heart and me, hold thee from this forever.
Good my liege.
Peace, Kent. Come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most and thought to set my rest on her kind nursery. Hence and avoid my sight. Call France. Who stirs? Call Burgundy. Cornwall? Albany? With my two daughters' dowers, digest this third. Let pride, which she calls plainness, marry her. I do invest you jointly with my power, with reservation of 100 knights, by you to be sustained. Shall our abode make with you in due terms, only we still retain the name and all the additions to a king. This way, revenue, execution of the rest. Beloved sons, be yours. To confirm this coronet, part betwixt you.
Royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master, followed as my great patron, thought on in my prayers.
The bow is bent and drawn. Make from the shaft.
Let it fall rather. Though the fork invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly when Lear is mad. What wilt thou do, old man? Think'st thou that duty shall have dread to speak when power to flattery bows? To plainness honor is bound when majesty stoops to folly. Reverse thy doom, and in thy best consideration check this hideous rashness. Answer, my life, my judgment, thy youngest daughter does not love thee least.
Kent, on thy life, no more! Out of my sight!
See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true target of thine eye.
Now, by Apollo.
Now, by Apollo, thou swearest thy gods in vain.
Oh, vassal! Miscreant!
Forbear. Do. Kill thy physician, and thy fee bestow upon thy foul disease. Revoke thy doom, or whilst I can vent clamor from my throat, I'll tell thee thou dost evil.
Hear me, recreant. On thine allegiance, hear me. Since thou hast sought to make us break our vow, to come between our sentence and our power, our potency made good. Take thy reward. 5 days we do allot thee for provision to shield thee against diseases of the world, and on the 6th to turn thy hated back upon our kingdom. If on the 10th day following thy banished trunk be found in our dominions, the moment is thy death.
Fare thee well, king. Since thus thou wilt appear, freedom lives hence, and banishment is here. The gods to their dear shelter take thee, maid, that justly thinks and has most rightly said. In your large speeches may your deeds approve, that good effects may spring from words of love. Thus, Kent, O princes, bid you all adieu. Your shape is old course in a country new.
Hampton Burgundy, my noble lord.
My lord of Burgundy, we first address toward you, who with this king hath rivaled, what in the least will you require in present dower, or cease your quest of love?
Most royal majesty, I crave no more than what your highness offered. Nor will you tender less.
Right, noble Burgundy. When she was dear to us, we did hold her so. But now, her price has fallen. Sir, there she stands. If aught within that little seeming substance, or all of it, with our displeasure pierced, nothing more, may fitly like your grace, she is there, and she is yours.
I know no answer.
Will you, with those infirmities she owes, dowered with our curse, and strangered with our oath, take her or leave her.
Pardon me, royal sir. Election may not have such conditions.
Then leave her, sir, for by the power that made me, I tell you, all the well. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed almost to acknowledge hers.
This is most strange, that she, that even but now was your best object, the argument of your praise, the balm of your age, most best, most dearest, should in this trice of time commit a thing so monstrous to dismantle so many folds of favor.
I yet beseech your majesty that you make known it was no vicious blot, murder, or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonored step that hath deprived me of your grace and favor, but even for want of that for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye, and such a tongue I am glad I have not, though not to have it hath lost me in your liking.
Better thou hadst not been born than not to have pleased me better.
Is it but this? My lord of Burgundy, say to the lady, love's not love when it is mingled with regards that stand aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She is herself a dowry.
Royal Lear, give but that portion which yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy.
Nothing. I have sworn. I am firm.
I am sorry then. You have so lost a father that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respects and fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, that art most rich being poor, most choice forsaken, and most loved despised. Be it lawful, I take up what's cast away. Thy dowerless daughter, king, thrown to my chance, is queen of us, of ours, and our fair France.
Thou hast her, France. Let her be thine. For we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our benison. Come, noble Burgundy.
Bid farewell to your sisters.
The jewels of our father. With washed eyes, Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Use well our father. To your professed bosoms I commit him, and yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So, farewell to you both.
Prescribe not us our duty.
Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you as charity. You have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want that you have wanted.
Time shall unfold what plighted cunning hides. Who cover faults, at last them shame derides. Well may you prosper.
Come, my fair Cordelia.
Sister, it is not a little I have to say what most closely concerns us both. I think our father will hence tonight.
That's most certain. And with you, next month with us.
You see how full a change his age is. We always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment he hath now cast her off.
'Tis the infirmament of his age. He hath ever but slenderly known himself.
The best and soundest of his times have been but rash.
Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him as this of Kent's banishment.
Pray you, let's hit together. If our father carry authority with such dispositions as he bears, this last surrender may but offend us.
We shall further think on it.
We must do something, and quickly.
Thou nature art my goddess, to thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I'm some 12 or 14 moonshines lad of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true, as honest madams issue, why brand they us with base? Baseness. Bastard. Base. Base! Legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word. Legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow. I prosper. Now God stand up for bastards.
Kent banished thus, France and collar parted, the king's gone tonight, subscribed his power, combined exhibition. How now, Edmund? What news?
So please your lordship, none.
Why seek you so earnestly to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No? Then what needed the terrible dispatch of it in your pocket? The value of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need my spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I've not all overread, and so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your o'erlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain or to give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see. Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this but as a test of my virtue.
Policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times, keeps our fortunes from us until our oldness cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of aged tyranny, who sways, not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me that of this I should speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever, and of the beloved of your brother Edgar. Huh, conspiracy. Huh. My son Edgar, had he a hand to write this? A brain and heart to breathe it in? When came this to you? Who brought
It
you?
was not brought me, my lord. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother's.
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Hath he never heretofore sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord, but, well, I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons of the perfect age and fathers declining, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Oh, villain, villain! His very opinion in the letter. Where is he?
I do not well know, my lord, but if it shall please you to suspend your indignation against my brother until you can derive from him better testimony of his intent. You will run a certain course where, if you proceed violently against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honor, and shake in pieces the very heart of his own obedience.
Think you so?
If your honor judge it fitting, I will place you where you shall hear me and my brother speak of this, and by an auricular assurance have your satisfaction, and that no later than this very evening.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not,
So
sure.
a father who so entirely and tenderly loves him. Seek him out, Edmund. Wind me into him. I pray you, use your own wisdom in this matter.
I shall see him, sir, presently. Convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all.
And the noble and true-hearted Kent, banished. His crime? Honesty. 'Tis strange.
How now, brother Edmund?
And Pat, he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy.
What serious contemplation are you in?
When saw you my father last?
Why, the night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together?
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word or countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear his presence until some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this moment so rageth in him that with the mischief of your person I can scarcely allay.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you, retire with me to my lodging, where I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed,
Brother, I advise you to the best, go armed. I am no honest man if there be any good intention towards you. I have told you what I have seen and what I have heard. Now quickly, go.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. A credulous father, and a brother so noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none. Oh, whose foolish honesty my practice is right easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lance by wit. And all's with me that I can fashion fit.
Did my father strike my gentleman for the chiding of his fool?
Yes, madam.
By day and night he wrongs us. I'll not endure it. His nights go riotous, and he himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick. If you grow slack of former services, you shall do well.
He's coming, madam. I can hear him.
Put on whatever weary negligence you please. If he dislike it, let him to our sister, whose mind and mine I know and that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man, that still would wield those authorities that he hath given away. Remember what I tell you.
Well, madam.
If but as well I other accents borrow, that can my speech diffuse, my good intent may carry through itself to that full issue for which I raised my likeness. Now, banished Kent, if thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, so may it come that thy master, whom thou lovest, shall find thee full of labor.
Let me not stay and jot the dinner. Go, get it ready. Oh, now, what art thou?
I do profess to be no less than our seem, to serve him truly that will put me in trust.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You?
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir, but you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, and deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence.
How old art thou?
I have years on my back, 28.
Follow me. Thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part from thee hence. Dinner! Ho! Dinner! Where's my maid, my fool? Go you and call my fool hither. You, Sirrah.
So please you, sir.
What says the fellow there? Call that clock pole back. Where's my fool ho? I think the world's asleep. How now? Where's that mongrel?
He says, my lord, your daughter is not well.
Why came not the slave back to me when I called him?
Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner. He would not.
He would not?
My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment it seems that your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious affection as you were wont.
Sayest thou so?
I beseech you pardon me, my lord, if I be mistaken, for my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wronged.
I have perceived a most faint neglect of late that I had rather blamed as mine own jealous curiosity than the very pretense and purpose of unkindness. I will look further into it, but where's my fool? I have not seen him this 2 days.
Since my young lady's going into France, sir, the fool hath much pined away.
No more of that. I have noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her. Go you, call hither my fool. Oh, you, sir. Come you hither, sir. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
My lady's father. My lord's knave. You horse on dog. You slave. You cur.
I am none of these things, my lord. I beseech your pardon.
Do you bandy looks with me, you rascal?
Oh, I'll not be struck, my lord.
Oh, no tricks neither, you base football player. Come on, sir. Arise. Away!
Now, my friendly knave, there's earnest for thy service.
Let me hire him too. There's my coxcomb.
How now, my pretty knave? How dost thou?
Sirrah, thou hast needs wear my coxcomb.
Why, fool?
Why, for taking one's part who's out of favor. There's my coxcomb. This fellow banished Tuan's daughters and did the third a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb.
Ha ha!
How now, nuncle? I would that I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters.
Why, my boy?
If I gave away all my lands, I'd keep the coxcombs myself. There's mine, beg another of thy daughters.
Take heed, Sirrah. The whip.
Truth's a dog that must a kennel, he must be whipped out.
Pestle and gall to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Do.
Mark it, nuncle.
Ooh. Whoa.
Have more than thou showest.
Aha.
Speak less than thou owest.
Ah.
Lend less than thou ownest. Ride more than thou goest. Learn more than thou trowest. Set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep and adore, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens.
This is nothing, fool.
Why then, 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. Thou gave me nothing for it. Can thou not make use of nothing, uncle?
Why no, my boy? Nothing can be made out of nothing.
Prithee, tell him so much the rent of his land comes to. He'll not believe a fool.
A bitter fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool?
No, lad, teach me.
That sir that counselled thee to give away thy lands, come place him here by me. Do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear, the one in motley there, the other found out there.
Dost thou call me fool, boy?
All thy other titles thou hast given away that thou wert born with. And fools had ne'er less wit in a year, when wise men had grown foppish. They know not how their wits to wear, their manners are so impish.
When were you wont to be so full of song, Sarah?
I have used it, nuncle, ever since I made thy daughters thy mothers. For when thou gavest them the rod and pulled down thy own breeches, then they for sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king could play bo peep and go the fools among. I prithee, nuncle, keep thee a schoolmaster that would teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie.
And you lie, Sarah. We'll have you whipped.
I marvel at what kin thou and thy daughters are. They would have me whipped for speaking true. Thou wilt have me whipped for lying. And sometimes he is whipped for holding his peace. I'd rather be any sort of thing than a fool. And yet, I would not be thee, nuncle, for thou hast pared thy wit of both sides and left nothing in the middle. Oh, here comes one of the pairings.
How now, daughter? What makes that frontlet on? Methinks you're too much of late at a frown.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hast no need to care for her frowning. Now thou art an O without a figure. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing. Prithee, yes, I forsooth, I will hold my tongue, though your face bids me, though your mouth says nothing.
our daughter?
Come, sir. I would you would make use of that good wisdom, whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions that have late transformed you from what you rightly are.
May not an ass know when a cart draws the horse?
Doth any here know me? This is not Lear. Doth Lear walk thus?
Nay!
Speak thus?
Nay!
Who is it that can tell me who I am?
Oh! Lear's shadow!
I would learn that, for by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughters.
And they would make an obedient father.
Your name, fair gentlewoman?
I do beseech you to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here do you hold 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold. This our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. He then desired by her that else will take the things she begs, a little to disquantity your train. And as for the remainder, that will still depend to be such men as may be sort your age and know themselves and you.
Darkness and devils, degenerate bastard. I'll not trouble thee, yet have I left a daughter. Oh, sir, are you come? Is it your will? Speak, sir, in gratitude. Thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou showest thee in a child than a sea monster.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Detested kite, thou liest. My knights are a train of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard show the worships of their name. O small fault, how ugly didst thou in Cordelia show, that like an engine wrenched my frame of nature from the fixed place, drew from heart all love and added to the gall. Oh, Lear, 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 beat at this gate that let thy folly in, and thy dear judgment out.
My lord, I am guiltless, and as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature, here, dear goddess, here, suspend thy purpose. If thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful, into her womb convey sterility, dry up in her the organs of increase, and from her derogate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create a child of spleen, that it may live and be a thwart disnatured torment to her. Turn all her mother's pains and benefits into laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away! Away!
Whereof comes this?
Never afflict yourself to know more of it, but let his disposition have that scope that dotage gives it.
What? 50 of my followers at a clap? Within a fortnight?
What's the matter, sir?
I'll tell thee. Life and death. I am ashamed that thou hast power to shake my manhood thus, that these hot tears break from me perforce. Blasts and fogs upon thee. Let it be so. Yet I have a daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear this of thee, with her nails she'll play thy wolfish visage. Thou shalt find that I'll resume the shape which thou dost think I have cast off forever. Thou shalt, I warrant thee!
Do you mark that, my lord?
I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear
Pray
you.
you content.
What ho, Oswald? You, sir, more knave than fool, after your master.
Nuncle Lear, tarry and take thy fool with thee. A fox when one has caught her, and such a daughter must lead to the slaughter, if my cat would buy a halter. And so the fool follows after.
This man has had good counsel. 100 knights. 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep at point 100 knights. Yes,
on every dream. Each buzz, each fancy, each complaint is like he may and guard his dotage with his power and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say.
Well, you may fear too far.
Safer than trust too far. What he has uttered, I have writ my sister. She sustained him and his 100 knights when I have showed her that. Oswald, what ho? What? Have you writ the letter to my sister?
Yes, madam.
And take some company and away to horse. Inform her full of my particular fear. Get you gone, and hasten your return. No, my lord. This milky gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not. Yet under pardon you are much more attasked for want of wisdom than praised for harmful mildness.
How far your eyes may pierce, I cannot tell. Striving to better, oft we mar what's well.
Return you to Gloucester with these letters. Acquaint my daughter no further with anything you know that comes from her demand out of the letter. If your diligence be not speedy, I shall be there afore you.
I shall not sleep, my lord, till I have delivered your letters.
If a man's brains were in his heels, were they not in danger of blisters?
Aye, boy.
Then I prithee be merry, for thy wit will never go slipshod.
Ha, ha, ha.
I warrant thee, thy other daughter will use thee in kind. For though she is like the other as a apple is to a crab, yet I can tell what I can tell.
Why, my boy, what can thou tell?
That she will taste as the other as a crab does to a crab. Dost know why one's nose stands in the middle of one's face?
No.
Why, to keep one's eyes on either side of one's nose, that what a man may not smell out, he may spy into.
I did her wrong.
But, dost know why an oyster makes his shell?
No.
No, nor I neither. But I do know why how a snail has a house.
Why?
Why, to keep his head in, not give it away to his daughters and leave his horns without a case.
I will forget my nature, so kind a father. Be my horses ready?
Aye, thy asses are about them. The reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason.
Because they are not 8.
Yes, indeed. Thou wouldst make a good fool.
To take it again for force. Monster ingratitude.
If thou wert my fool, nuncle, I would have thee whipped for being old before thy time.
How's that?
Thou should not have been old till thou hast been wise.
Oh, let me be not mad, not mad. Sweet heavens, keep me in temper. I would not go mad. Come, boy!
Save the current.
And you, sir. I have been with your father and given him notice that the Duke of Cornwall and Regan, his Duchess, will be here with him this night.
How comes that?
Nay, I know not. You have heard of the news abroad. I mean, the whispered ones.
Not I. Pray you, what are they?
Have you heard of no likely wars toward twixt the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany?
Not a word.
You may do then in time. Fare you well, sir.
The Duke and Duchess be here tonight. Better. Best. This weaves itself perforce into my business. Now my father hath laid a guard to capture my brother. And I have one thing of a queasy question on which I must act. Briefness and fortune. Work.
Brother! Brother, come out, I say! Brother, a word!
My father watches. Sir, you must fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You now have the good advantage of the night. Have you not spoken against the Duke of Cornwall? He's coming hither now, in the night, in the haste, and Regan with him. Have you said nothing untoward against the Duke of Albany? Advise yourself.
I am sure, not a word.
I hear my father coming. Pardon me. In coming, I must draw my sword upon you. Draw yours. See me to defend yourself. Quickly. Yield! Come before my father! Light! Ho! Flee, now! Torches! Torches! So farewell. Some blood drawn on me would beget opinion. Ah! Ah! Help! Help! Torches! Please! Ah!
Now, Edmund! Where's the villain,
Sir, I
Edmund?
bleed!
Where's the villain,
It's right
Edmund?
that way, sir. By no means could he persuade...
By no means what?
Could he persuade me to the murder of your lordship? But that I told him the revenging gods against all parricides in all their thunders bent. Yet seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, in fell motion, with his prepared sword, he charged my unprovided body, lanced mine arm. But when he, frightened by the noise I made, full suddenly he fled.
Well, let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught. And found, dispatch. The Duke, my master, my worthy elfin patron, comes tonight. By his authority, I shall proclaim it. He who finds him deserves our thanks, bringing the murderous coward to the stake. Yes, and then he shall not remain uncaught. The Duke comes tonight. I think, yes, his trumpets. I know not why he comes, but listen. All the ports I'll bar. The villain should not escape. The Duke must grant me that. And besides, his picture I will send far and near. The entire kingdom shall take due note of him. And of my lands, worthy and loyal boy, I'll work the means to make thee capable.
How now, my noble friend? Since I came hither, which I can call but now, I have heard strange news.
If it be true, all vengeance comes too short, which can pursue the offender. How dost, my lord?
Oh, lady, my old heart is cracked. It is cracked.
What, did my father's godson seek your life? He whom my father named your Edgar?
Oh, lady, shame would have it hid.
Was he not companion with the riotous knights that tend upon my father?
I know not, madam. It's too bad. Too bad.
Yes, madam, he was of that consort.
'Tis no marvel then, though he be ill affected. 'Twas they who put him on the old man's death. I have this present evening from my sister been well informed of them, and with such cautions that if they come to sojourn at my house, I'll not be there.
No, I assure thee, Regan. Edmund, I hear you have shown your father a childlike office.
It was my duty, sir.
He did expose his practice and received his hurt, you see, striving to apprehend him.
Is he pursued?
Aye, my good lord.
If he be taken, he shall never more be feared of doing harm. As for Edmund, your virtue and obedience doth in this instance so much commend itself. You shall be ours. Natures of such deep trust we shall much need.
I shall serve you, sir, truly, however else.
For him I thank your grace.
You know not why we came to visit you.
Occasions, noble Gloucester, of some poise, where we must have use of your advice. Our father he hath writ, hath our sister, of differences, which I least find fit to answer away from home.
Your graces are right welcome. This way.
Good dawning to thee, friend. Art of this house.
Aye.
Where may we set our horses?
In the mire.
Prithee, if thou lovest me, tell me.
I love thee not.
Dost thou use me thus? I know thee not.
Fellow, I know thee.
What dost thou know me for?
A knave, a rascal, a base, proud, shallow, beggarly, filthy, knave, a lily-livered, action-taking knave, a whoreson, glass-gazing, super-serviceable rogue, one whom I will beat into clamorous whining if thou deniest the least syllable of thy addition.
What a monstrous fellow art thou, thus to rail on one that is neither known of thee nor knows thee?
What a brazen-faced varlet art thou to deny thou knowest me? Is it 2 days since I tripped up thy heels and beat thee before the king? Draw, you rogue, for though it be night, yet the moon shines. Draw, you whoreson uncannily barbermonger, draw!
Away, I have nothing to do with
Draw,
thee.
you rogue, you come with letters against the king. Draw, you rascal! Help! Help! What's this? Yo, come on out, flesh sheep! Come on, you master!
What's the matter here?
Keep peace upon your lives. He dies that strikes again. What is the matter?
The messengers for our sister and the king.
Oh. What is your difference? Speak.
I am scarce in breath, my lord.
No wonder you have so bestirred your valley, you cowardly rascal.
Speak yet. How grew your quarrel?
This ancient ruffian, sir, whose life I've spared at suit of his great
Thou whoreson, he said. Thou unnecessary letter, my lord. If you will give me leave, I will tread this unbolted villain into mortar.
Peace, Sirrah. You beastly knave. Have you no reverence?
Yes, sir. But anger hath a privilege.
Why art thou angry?
I'll fill you up. Say that.
No contraries hold more antipathy than I in such a knave.
Well, why do you call him knave? What did he do to you?
His countenance likes me not.
No more perchance does mine, nor his, nor hers.
Sir, 'tis my occupation to be plain. I have seen better faces in my time than stands on any shoulder that I see before me at this instant.
This is some fellow. Having been praised for bluntness, doth affect a saucy roughness, and constrains his garb quite from his nature. Oh, he cannot flatter. He, being an honest mind and a plain, he is an honest mind and virtuous, and he must tell the truth. They will take it so, if not, he's plain. What offense did you give him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the king, his master, very late to strike at me, upon his misconstruction, when he, conjunct, in flattering his displeasure, tripped me behind, being down, insulted, railed, and put upon him such a deal of man that word with him, got praises of the king, and in the fleshman of this dread exploit, drew on me here again.
Call forth the stocks, you stubborn horse and knave, you reverend braggart. We will teach you.
Sir, I'm too old to learn. Call not your stocks for me. I serve the king on whose employment I was sent to you. You may do small respect, show too bold malice against my grace and person of my master stalking his messenger.
Call forth the stocks. As I have a life and honor, there shall he sit till noon.
Oh, till noon. Till night, my lord, and all night too.
Why, madam, if I were your father's dog, you should not use me so.
Sir, be his knave, I will.
This is a fellow of the self-same color our sister speaks of. Come, bring out the stocks.
I must beseech your grace not to do so. The king, his master, must needs take it ill that he's so slightly valued in his messenger, having him thus restrained.
I'll answer that.
My sister may receive it much worse, having her gentleman abused, assaulted, for following her affairs. Put in his legs. Come, my good lord, away.
I am sorry for thee, friend. But 'tis the Duke's pleasure, as all the world knows, this will not be rubbed nor stopped. I'll entreat for thee.
Pray, do not, sir. I have watched and travelled hard. Some time shall I sleep out, the rest I'll whistle. Give you good morrow.
The Duke's to blame in this. 'Twill be ill taken.
Take vantage, heavy eyes, not to behold this shameful lodging. Fortune, good night. A smile once more. Turn thy wheel.
I heard myself proclaimed, and by the happy hollow of a tree escaping the hunt. No port is free, no place that guard and most unusual vigilance does not attend my taking. Though I escape, I will preserve myself, and am resolved to take the basest and most poorest shape that ever pugned me in contempt of man brought near to beast. My face, a grime with filth, a blanket my loins, else all my hair and knots in presented nakedness, outface the winds and persecutions of the sky. Poor Turley God, poor Tom, had something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
It's strange that they should so depart from home and not send back my messenger.
As I learned the night before, there was no purpose in them on this remove.
Hail to thee, noble master.
Ah, makest thou this shame thy pastime?
No, my lord.
He wears cruel garters. A man that's over lusty in legs wears wooden nether stocks.
What's he that hath so much thy place mistook to set thee here?
It is both he and she, your son and daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I say.
I say yea.
They durst not do it. They could not, would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage. Resolve me, with all modest haste, which way thou mightst deserve, or they impose this usage coming from us.
My lord, when at their home I did commend your highness letters to them, ere I was risen from the place that showed my duty, kneeling, came there a reeking post from Goneril, his mistress' salutations. Delivered letters, spite of intermission, which presently they read, on whose contents they summoned up their men and straight took horse, commanded me to follow and attend the leisure of their answer, gave me cold looks, and meeting here the other messenger, whose welcome I perceived had poisoned mine, being the very fellow that of late displayed so saucily against your highness, having more man than wit about me drew. He raised the house with loud and coward cries, and your son and daughter found this trespass worth the shame which here it suffers.
Winter's not yet gone if the wild geese fly that way.
Where is this daughter?
With the earl, sir, here within.
Follow me not. Stay here.
Make you no more offense than what you speak of.
None. How chance the king comes with so small a number?
If thou had been set in the stocks for that question, thou hadst well deserved it.
Why, fool?
We'll set thee to school to an ant, to teach thee there is no laboring in winter. All that follow their noses are led by the eyes, except the blind. And there is not a nose in 20 but can smell he that's stinking. Let go thy hold when the great wheel rolls downhill, lest I break thy neck in following it. But when the great one goes uphill, let it draw thee after. When a wise man gives thee better counsel, give me mine back. I'd have none but knaves follow it, since fool gives it. That sir that serves and seeks for gain and follows but for form will pack when it begins to rain and leave thee in a storm. But I will tarry, the fool will stay, and let the wise man fly. The knave turns fool that runs away, the fool no knave had I.
Where learned you this, fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
Deny to speak with me. They are sick. They are weary. They have traveled all the night. Mere evasions, the images of revolt and flying off. Fetch me a better answer.
My lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how irremovable and fixed he is in his own course.
Fiery, what quality? Why, Gloucester, Gloucester, I speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Yes, my lord, I have informed them so.
Informed them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The king would speak with Cornwall. The dear father would with his daughter speak. Commands her service. Are they informed of this? My breath and blood. Fiery, the fiery Duke. Death on my staff. Wherefore should he sit here? Give me my servant forth. Go tell the Duke and his wife I speak with them now, presently. Bid them come forth and hear me, or at their chamber door I'll beat the drum till he cries sleep to death.
I would have all well betwixt you.
Oh, me, my heart, my rising heart, put down.
Cry to it, Nuncle, like the woman did when she set the eels in the pie alive. She napped them on the head with a stick and cried, "Down, wanton, down!" Here.
Good morrow to you both.
Hail to your grace.
I am glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. I know what reason I have to think so. But thou should not be glad I would divorce me from thy mother's tomb, sepulchring and adultery. Oh, are you free? Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, thy sister's not. Oh, Regan, she hath tied sharp-toothed unkindness like a vulture here. I can scarce speak to thee. Thou not believe without depraved equality. Oh, Regan!
Oh, sir, take patience. I have hope. You know less how to value her desert than she to scant her duty.
Say, how is that?
I cannot believe my sister in the least would fail in her obligations. If, sir, perchance, she restrained the riots of your followers, 'tis on such ground and to such wholesome end as clears her from all blame.
My curse is on her.
Oh, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of her confine. You should be led and ruled with some discretion that can better discern your state than you yourself. Therefore, I pray you, sir, make your return to my sister. Say you have wronged her.
Ask her forgiveness. Do you but mark how this becomes the house? Dear daughter, I confess that I am old. Age is unnecessary. On my knees I beg that you'll vouchsafe me raiment, bed, and food.
Oh, good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never again. She hath evaded me of half my train, looked black upon me, struck me with her tongue most serpent-like, a bond of very heart. Oh, you stored vengeances of heaven, fall on her ingrateful top, strike her young bones, you taking heirs with lameness.
Fie, sir, fie.
And so will you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
No, Regan, thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender-hafted nature shall not give thee o'er to harshness. Her eyes are fierce, but thine do comfort and not burden. Thou better know the offices of gratitude, dues of childhood, effects of courtesy, thy half of the kingdom. Hast thou not forgot wherein I thee endowed?
Good sir, to the purpose.
Who put my man in the stocks?
What trumpet's this?
I know it. It is my sister's. This confirms her letter that she would soon be here. Is your lady come?
This is a slave whose easy borrowed pride dwells in the fickle grace of her he follows. Out, varlet, from my sight!
No, sir.
Who stopped my servant? Regan, I have good hopes that thou didst not know on't, but who come, heavens, if you do love old men, if your sweet sway allow obedience, if yourselves are old, send down, make it your part, and take my cause. Art not ashamed to look upon this beard? Oh, Regan, wilt thou take her by the hand?
And why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended?
Will you yet hold? How came my man in the stocks?
I set him there, sir, but his disorders deserve far less advancement.
You! Did you?
I pray you, Father, being weak seems so. If, at the expiration of your month, you return and sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come you then to me, for I am away from home and without the provisions that shall be needful for your entertainment.
Return to her and 50 men dismissed? No. Rather, I abjure all ruse and choose to wage against the enmity of the air. Return with her? Why, the hot-blooded France that dowerless took our youngest born, I could as well be brought to knee his throne, and squire like pension beg to keep base life afoot. Return with her, persuade me rather to be slave and sumpter to this detested groom.
Sir.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, daughter, do not make me mad. I will not trouble thee, my child. Farewell. We'll no more meet, no more see one another. But yet, thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter. Or rather a disease that's in my flesh that I must needs call mine. Thou art a boil, a plague sore, an inbosted carbuncle that I must call mine. But I'll not chide thee, let shame come when it will. I do not call it, mend when thou canst, be better at thy leisure. I can be patient, I can stay with Regan. I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I look not yet for you, nor am provided for your fit welcome. Therefore, sir, give ear to my sister. For those who mingle reason with your passions must be content to think you old, and so, but she knows what she does.
Is this well spoken?
I dare avouch it. What, 50 followers? Is that not well? What should you need of more?
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants, or from mine?
Why not, my lord? If they chance to scant you, we could control them. If you will come from me, now I spy a danger. I entreat you, bring but 5 and 20. To no more will I give place or notice.
I gave you all.
And in good time you gave it.
Made you my guardians, my depositories, but kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. Why must I come to you with 5 and 20, Regan? Said you so?
And spakest again, my lord. No more with me.
These wicked creatures yet do look well favored when others are more wicked. Not being the worst stands in some rank of praise. I'll go with thee. Thy 50 yet doth double 5 and 20, and thou art twice her love.
Hear me, my lord. What need you 5 and 20, 10 or 5, to follow in a house where twice so many have a command to tend you?
What need of you one?
Oh, reason not the need! Our basest beggars are in the poorest things superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs, but for true need, you heavens, give me that patience I need. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man, as full of grief as aged, and wretched in both. If it be your will that stir these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely. Touch me with noble anger, and let not women's weapons water drops stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural hands. I will have such revenges on you both that I will do such things. What they are, yet I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You think I'll weep? No, I'll not weep. I have full cause of weeping, yet this heart shall break into 100,000 pieces, or ere I'll weep. Oh, I shall go mad!
Let us withdraw. 'Tis a storm coming.
The house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
'Tis his own blame hath put himself from rest, and must needs taste his foe.
For his particular, I'll receive him gladly, but not one follower.
And so am I purposed.
The king is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
He calls to horse, but will I not know whither?
'Tis best to let him go his own way. He leads himself.
My lord entreat him by no means to stay.
Alack, the night comes on. The soldiers do sorely ruffle. I mean, there's, for miles about, there's scarce a bush.
Sir, to willful men, the injuries that they procure on themselves must be their schoolmasters. Shut up your doors. He is led by a desperate train, and what they may incense him to, being apt to have his ear deceived, wisdom bids fear.
Shut up your doors, sir. 'Tis a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come, out of the storm.
The storm's brewing. Better take a 15-minute intermission while you can, and I'll find the king.
And get yourself a cookie